Hi everyone, this is Darshan Senthil, and in this video we're going to be talking more about trig. And in this video I'm just going to be introducing you to radians. Okay, and radians, it's kind of an essential concept that you need to know. It's just another way of measuring angles, but if you don't know it, you won't be able to do much more in trig than what we've just covered so far. So this is very important if you're going to do pre-calculus or calculus. So you may want to pay attention here and just be ready. Okay, and this is a key concept that we'll build upon when we progress into later videos. Okay, so let's get started. So to start off, let's just start by defining what a radian is. So I got this definition from Google. So a radian is a unit of angle. Like I said, this is just a way to measure an angle. Equal to an angle at the center of a circle. Okay, so we were dealing with circles here, so keep in mind that radians pertain more to circles. So if you were like measuring triangles, you wouldn't really use radians, but when you're talking about circles, then radians make more sense. Okay, whose arc length, I just edited this slightly. So I just added this extra word length, whose arc length is equal in length to the radius. So this may seem a little bit confusing, so let's just walk through this a little bit step by step. Okay, so let's just get ourselves a circle. So let me move that. Oh my god. Okay, so we have a circle here, and we know that every circle has a center, right? And so the radius, is this line that extends from the center to any given point on the circle. So this is your radius. I'm just going to call it r. And then your arc length is basically the length of this given arc. Okay, it's basically the length of any given stretch of the circumference of the circle. So the total thing of the total length of a circle, I'd say, is called its circumference, and then the arc is just a part of the circumference. I'm just going to call it circumf. I'm not going to write the full thing out. So if you notice though that if you join the dots here and connect it like this, you get an angle right here, right? So if you have an arc and then you cover it with two radiuses, I guess, you get an angle right there. So now we know that this angle, it's a formula that this angle, this is called the central angle, is the equivalent of the arc length, which is commonly known as S, over r. Okay, so the the central angle here is equivalent to the radius over the, it's equal to the circumference over the arc length, beg your pardon, over the radius. Okay, so for simplicity's sake, let's say, so let's just go back to the definition. So we know that for a radian, in case it wasn't clear, this is the definition of a radian. So in a radian, the arc length is equal in length to the radius. So we know that S equals R. Okay, so that's key. So if S equals R, then S divided by R is going to equal 1, irrespective of what numbers there are. You could have like 64, 382, 16, whatever. But if these two are the same, the answer is just going to be 1. Okay, so this is the definition of 1 radian. So 1 radian is when the arc length is arc length over radius when arc length equals radius. So that's basically the definition of a radian in simple terms. Okay, that's 1 radian. But now, what if we wanted to find how many radians there were in the entire circle? So turns out that so we know that the measure of this and the entire circumference of the circle, the entire circumference of the circle is just basically a really big arc. Okay, so if we were to take the entire circumference of the circle, we know that the circumference is equal to 2 pi r, right? That's just another definition. So if we were to plug this into that formula, we would get that 2 pi r over r, which gives us 2 pi radians. So we have 2 pi radians in a circle. Okay, so just key to remember. So a radian is basically, to cap off, a radian is basically this central angle measure when the arc length and the radius are the same. Okay, I'm not sure why anybody wanted to measure that or whatever, or like I'm not sure they got bored of degrees or something, but that's just how you do it. So now radians are mostly used for measuring circles, and we'll get a lot into this with unit circle and stuff, and trigonometry basically loves radians, so you're going to be forgetting what degrees for a little bit at least. So yeah, that's basically radians, and I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.